zoomies. Well, today I'm going to do something really fun. All that cordage I had been working on, I got a fair amount made, and I found one of the materials I was working with was really, really strong. So what I ended up doing is I took some of this cordage and attached it to a cane pole that I went down the road and found on the side of the road. And I whittled, see if I can get it here, a hook. And I've got that tied on, I hope well enough to withstand some pull. But I'm gonna see if I can use this setup and catch a fish. I'm gonna go down the road to where there's a little, it's like a hole on the side of the road. It's the runoff from a lake on up in the hills that runs down and goes through a culvert and kind of pools on the other side of the road. And there's always little sunfish and those little, they look like catfish, but they're not. They're like, or maybe they are. They're those yellow bellied, I don't know what they're called, but anyway, that and little brim in that hole. We've always fished there with the children because they always just enjoyed catching fish, and then we knew that was a guaranteed place to fish. First, I'm going to see if I can find some worms. I'm going to try to dig up, and then the hook that I've got is awful big for the size fish down there, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work. I do have a backup in case this one breaks, though. But anyway, I've got to find some worms, and then we're going to jump in the dirty bourbon and go down the road and see if we can catch a fish. This ought to be interesting. So I'm gonna bring you along for the journey. We'll see how this goes. Hey, there's some chickweed. There's a worm. Yeah, come on out. I hope I can find more than one. I need a cup to put it in. I did find one. There's another worm. I found one worm under here. Here's the second one. So it gives me 3 in all. Now that I've got this exposed, I may go ahead and look around. Oh, there's another one. It's 4. I just want to be sure I have enough bait. I don't want to get down there and not be able to do much. There's a teeny tiny worm, but that's not going to be... Oh, I just saw one go down in here. It disappeared. Some of these are pretty fast. You see them wiggle and disappear in the ground pretty quickly. There's another. I'm just gonna go with what I got. And oh, don't get out of there. Get y'all a little more dirt. There we go. Okay, let's go see if we can catch some fish. All right, here's the hole I was telling you about. Got this giant culvert. Stay, Dottie. I've got Dottie with me. Hopefully she's gonna stay right there in the back of the truck. This is the runoff from that lake that's up on the hill that we don't have access to, but this is the overflow that runs out, and they got a massive culvert here to let it drain on out. So anyway, it made this hole, and it's gotten larger through the years. Actually, that dam broke last year, and it flooded through here. I think that's what widened this out some more. But anyway, this is where I'm going to be hopefully catching a fish. Oh, that's a long way down there. I don't know if I have enough line to make it down there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to set you... Holy crap. What was that? This is also where I got the cane from. You can see a few sprigs here. I think the top of that tree just fell out. Okay. I wasn't sure if something was running at me or not. I'm gonna set this camera up here on the bumper. Say, hey, Daddy. Stay there. You gotta stay up here. I don't want you running all over the road. I'm gonna set you up here. Hopefully you can see. Let's see if we can get a worm on this thing. It's probably gonna be a little on the hard side since it's not very thin. Oh gosh, I guess all the worms went to the bottom. There's one. Oop, don't you disappear on me. I don't want that one, I want the fat one. Alright. Oh my, this is going to be probably kind of hard. Or maybe not. I think it's fat enough. Only thing is I can't go on up. Alright, I don't have a barb on the tip of this thing. I'm not sure how well that's going to hang on. We're going to give it a whirl though. Look at that. Ooh, it's hot. I really hope this is long enough. Stay, Dottie. Stay. There we go. I can do that. Alright, already I know a problem with this setup. I don't have a weight to make this go under the water. And I don't have a bobber, which I'm not concerned about that because, or a cork, because I can control how high it floats or deep it floats. But I don't have a weight on it and it's not wanting to go down under. So, I wonder if I can tie, now look what I got on my arm. It's drinking the sweat. Oh well, it flew off. Alright, I'm going to try to tie this rock and get this thing to sit still. I'm going to see if I can loop this rock on here, although that's, I need something a little more, not so round. Man, I am sweating. Oh, let's see what I can do. I don't need anything too big. I don't want to get anything that would not be natural, because the whole point of this is if I was in survival mode, I would only have natural items available. I'm going to just see if I can just tie this on here. Dottie, stay. I don't know. That doesn't look too good, but I don't want to pull too hard on that and break my line. Alright, let's give it another whirl. Well, pull. The rock fell out. Well, the rock fell out before I even got it down into the water. I gotta find a rock that's not so slippery. Maybe a longer one. We'll do that one. Oh, mercy. Me and my harebrained ideas. It's fun, though. I enjoy it. We'll try that. Yeah, that works. Don't bite. Got a bite. I had 2 bites. They took my worm. Now I do know turtles are down there too, so sometimes they will just strip every worm we have. I'll go ahead and get it. It's going to take a pretty big fish to swallow this hook, so I may have to switch to a smaller hook. Ugh, that just squirted me in the face. That was gross. See if I can get this on here. I have seen where you can use like the bone of an animal to make a hook, and it's a little bit sharper, maybe thinner, and a little more durable. I may have to try that, but right now I'm going to still keep trying this until I run out of worms. I have just a tiny piece of worm left. Something's nibbling it. Just a smidgen of worm on there. Let me add a little more. Darn. These biting flies aren't fun. I think that was a horsefly actually. Well, that's not much worm, but I'm going to try it anyway. I may switch over to a sharper, smaller hook that I made that I didn't think was good enough, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to the other more fragile hook, but it's smaller. I think might do a better job. I'll bring you back when I get that done. It's going to take me a little bit, so I'm going to have to re-tie this stuff. Alright, I got this other one tied on. I thought it was going to be harder than that, but the way I had it wrapped made it fairly easy. It's a little bit smaller, still doesn't have a barb on it. But we'll see what we can do. This worm was volunteering itself by crawling out of the cup. So I'll use a piece of that one. Oh my gosh. I got another worm that crawled out of the cup. I'll show you just a second. That's probably going to come off that hook. Look up there. Crawling out. Oh, mercy. Come back here. Get back in the cup. I took some of their dirt out. I didn't know that they would try to crawl out. Dottie, you're not doing a good job of watching these worms. Oh, mercy. Got my worm on there. Let's give this one a shot. Oh man. Took my worm. That was definitely a fish. Definitely a fish, not a turtle. Try to run with it. The problem I run into, I think, is there's not a barb on this hook. Ooh, I'm gonna try to cut a little barb. I'm probably gonna end up cutting my stick off. I don't really want to do that. Maybe I can do that. Probably not, but I'm not going to take that chance. I will put another worm on, or another piece of worm, and try it again. Well, I'm still satisfied, even if I don't catch a fish. I've gotten the bites. My pole and line and hook is doing a good job holding up. So I'm not angry with the setup for sure. I just got to do a better job on the hook. Not giving up yet. I mean, honestly, if I was in a survival situation, I would fish all day till I caught something. I wouldn't give up. Huh. Got my worm again. Gotta get this stuff up here out of the way. I'm glad nobody's driven down the road and see me doing this. We don't have a whole lot of traffic down this way except for the mail lady. And she probably should be coming through here soon. She likes to fish, so she probably wouldn't say anything. She probably already thinks I'm crazy anyway. And I don't care what people think. I used to. It used to be something I worried about a lot, but I don't anymore. I realize now that you can do everything right. People are going to talk anyway. They'll make up stuff. They'll make up stuff just to run you in the ground. So I've learned, don't worry about it. Just do right. Whew. It's hot. Okay, well, I took my worm. Tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna it's so blooming hot, and my battery. No, that's not my battery. So these wooden hooks oops, sorry, Dottie. These wooden hooks aren't sufficient because they soften up for several reasons. They soften up once they get in the water. They're not thick enough for me to put a barb in. Now, if I was, here's the thing, where I'm fishing, I know the fish don't get any bigger than this right here. They're small fish. I wouldn't have a chance of catching anything larger. Now, if I was in an area where we had larger fish, the hook might actually work because that larger fish with the bigger mouth would swallow this whole thing. But with these little brim and stuff, I usually, when we fish here just for fun, we usually have a little brim hook, just real tiny. And they're able to get it barely in their mouth. So it could be the problem of the fish here don't have a big enough mouth to get around this, to clamp down on it. Or if they do have a big enough mouth, which I kind of think they don't, this doesn't have a barb on it to hang on once they get it. Also, my worm is not staying on this hook because it doesn't have a barb. It's kind of, they're probably able to just slip that off. So that's the thing I need to address. All in all, though, honestly, I didn't catch a fish. I got bites. I worked out my weight, and it's working well. The hook actually works well, except I can't keep the fish on it, but it's not broken or anything. The line works well. It's strong enough. And, of course, the cane pole. So I'm not displeased with this setup. Honestly, I'm quite excited that it works. I gotta refine the hook. So that's gonna be my next thing. But I'm gonna see if I can use bone. That won't soften up in the water, and I might can carve a barb into it. But it's hot out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out and say I'm gonna work on another hook for another video. But as far as my setup, I'm pleased with it. Like I said, the pole, the line, everything, it worked well. Nothing broke. That's what I was afraid once this got in the water, or once it had dried really well. This is made out of cattail leaves. I was afraid that as it dried, I made this like a month or so ago, and then I didn't ever get out here to do this video because I ended up with a terrible black eye. And I might stick a picture in here so you see how bad it was. And I just didn't want to be on camera with that black eye because it looked terrible. But anyway, so this has been sitting for a month and a half, waiting on me to, maybe even 2 months, waiting on me to make this video. And I was afraid that it might dry out and get brittle and not want to hold together, but it is doing great. So this is great. Cattail leaves seem to be the strongest of everything else I tried. I'm going to do another video on the different materials that I did try and let you know. Obviously, you know by this that the cattail leaves did the best. But anyway, I'm pleased. This is actually a win. I definitely will give it a thumbs up because it works. I just got to refine my hook. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you like the content I'm putting out, would you go ahead and just subscribe? It'll help the numbers and it'll help me get out there on, to reach more people. And it's not like I'm doing it for myself. I'm not trying to monetize because I never will have that kind of following. And if I ever did monetize, I wouldn't make enough for diddly squat. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just enjoying what I'm doing, and hopefully what I'm doing is maybe educational for other people. Might give them some ideas and maybe get excited about being in the outdoors and working with things like this to gain more knowledge. Times are kind of getting crazy around here. This world is nuts. I just don't know the way things are going, just how things are going to end up. If I have to, or if we end up in a war or something and need to retreat to the woods or the mountains, having this kind of knowledge of things you can use from the wild will be beneficial. All right, y'all, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you down the road. Y'all stay wild.